Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namo Sute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vanchakalpatarvyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Isvaraga Paramaga Krishnaga Satchidananda Vigraga Anadi Radhir Govindaga Sarvakarana Karanam. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, Raja Guhyam, the most confidential knowledge. So in Bhagavad Gita, we are now studying in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga. So we need to know what we should do and how we should do everything. And why we are doing it. So, what, how, why, everything we need to do. So, everything Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. So, whatever we act, whatever actions we are doing, it has only two effects. Only two effects. There is nothing like neutral effects like that. It can be either binding or liberating. There is the two effects. The acts what we are doing, whether it can lead to bondage to this material world, or it can free ourselves, free us from this material world. So that means we are already born here because of bondage to this material world. That is the reason we are born here. Now, we should act in such a way that we should free ourselves from this material world, so that we will not born again in this material world. But if you don't do that, if you don't make use of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, if you don't surrender unto Krishna, if you don't serve Krishna, if you don't chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, if you are not using this very, very rare opportunity, this human body, to realize ourselves and go to Goloka, that means we are binding ourselves even more into this material world. So that's what is happening. That means for sure we are going to come here. In the second chapter already we studied, Krishna told us very clearly that Jatasya dhruvo mrityu, dhruvam janma mrityasya. So when we are born here, it is certain that we are going to die. And when we die, it is also certain that we are going to born again. So that way, if we make use of this human body, very nicely and get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita using this human body, using our knowledge acquiring sciences. First get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and bring ourselves to the light. We should not continue to live in darkness. And then act everything, do everything based on the principles of Bhagavad Gita. So that way, we can actually liberate ourselves from this material world in this life itself. Whatever achievement we make, already we discussed many times, we studied many times, that's going to be permanent with us. Even in this life itself, if we are not able to completely liberate ourselves, at some point of time, at some life, it's going to be completely 100% liberation is going to happen. When that happens, when we are 100% liberated from this material world, when we have no more attachments to anything in this material world, when we are completely in Krishna consciousness, when we are able to completely submit ourselves to Krishna, when that happens, that means achieving that Brahma Bhuta platform. So then, at that point of time, we are sure to die because we have taken birth here in this material world. Jatasya dhruvam mrityu. And dhruvam janma mrityasya. We are sure to born again also. But when we achieve liberation from this material world, we are not going to take birth in this material world. We are going to take birth in Krishna's world, Goloka. So that's what is going to happen. When we are completely liberated from this material world, from all attachments, all desires, everything completely, sarvam, parigraha, everything. Vihaya kamanya sarvam. Sarvan, that's it, completely, all. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. If you are able to give up all varieties of desires for sense gratification, everything, no more desires for sense gratification, no more attachments to anything in this material world, giving up all attachments completely. That means completely attached to Krishna. We should not give up the attachment to Krishna. That should increase more and more. We should get ourselves attached too much into Krishna. That's the main thing. Too much to Krishna. We should be attached. So if that happens, then naturally our mind is going to remember Krishna at the time of death only. Because when we are detached ourselves from this material world, if we don't have any attachment to anything in this material world, so then we are not going to remember anything in this material world at the time of death. Only if we have attachment, then only we will remember things in this material world. If we have attachment to material sense objects, a lot of other things in this material world, then at the time of death, we are going to remember. Because our mind is only going to remember what it is practiced to remember, what training we are giving it to our mind. That also we have discussed many, many times in the past. So our brain should be full of Krishna's memory only. So our mind should be able to remember only Krishna only all the time. So that way we will be able to free ourselves from this material. But for that, we have to act now. Because before achieving the status of yoga, how can we prove, how can we detach ourselves from this material world? So once we become a complete yogi, so that means we are completely detached from this material world. We are not attached to anything in this material world. We are not worried about anything in this material world. Once we become a perfect yogi, complete yogi. But until becoming that yogi, we have to prove. So that means we need to act without any attachment. We need to show the results to Krishna that I'm not attached to anything in this material world. I'm not affected by anything in this material world. And I am attached only to Krishna. That's it. So that's why Aruruksher Munir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. In the beginning, in order to achieve yoga, karma is the karana. So the karma karanam uchyate means the reason to perform our duties or the reason to act is to achieve that status of yoga. So that should be the reason to act, no other reason. Not because of our attachment to the results, not because of our material ambitions. I want this and I want that, all such things. Not because of that. That should not be the motivating force. The motivating force is to achieve that yoga. So that means it is to do everything as an offering unto Krishna. Automatically we are going to achieve that status of yoga if we are attached to Krishna, if we surrender everything unto Krishna, if we do everything for Krishna. So then automatically we are going to become a yogi. So that's why Aruruksher Munir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. Yoga Rudasya Tasyaiva. If we achieve that status of yoga, if we are not affected by anything, that means if we are freed from the three modes of material nature, that means we are no longer forced to act in this material way, then that should be the reason for stopping our work. Samaga karanam uchyate. That should be the reason. The reason for not acting is just because we achieved the status of yoga. So that can be the only reason. Until then, we have to act, and we are not free, and we are forced to act, and we are controlled by the modes of material nature. We are not free at all. Until then, we have to act. So the reason to free ourselves from this, all the actions, everything, that we have already achieved yoga, so there is no need to do. So that's why tasya karyam na vidyate. For such a person, there is no duty. There is nothing there for us to do anything. There is nothing there for us to do. There is no duty. Yasvatma ratireva syat atma truptascha manavaga atmanyeva cha santushtaga tasya karyam na vidyate. So for him, there is no duty. And not only there is no duty for us, no action. We don't have to do anything actually, but also there is no reason for us to do anything, and there is no reason for us to depend, or we are not answerable to anyone. That's a very important point. Right now, we are answerable to so many people. Our parents, our siblings, our children, and our boss, and our servant, and this and that. Everywhere, every day, we are answerable to so many people. People will be asking that too if you are working in this industries and everywhere, IT, technology, this, that, and all. There's so many emails, so many replies we have to give, so many answers we need to give, everything, lot of deadlines. We have to die every day. There is a problem. There are so many deadlines to meet every day, and we have to die every day. That's what is called a deadline. So, but if you achieve that status of yoga, if you become a devotee of Krishna, if you understand this Bhagavad Gita very well, completely, if you are able to follow this Bhagavad Gita and surrender unto Krishna, then naivatasya kritena artho na kritenega kaschana nachasya sarva bhutesu kaschitartha vyapashu. So we are not answerable to anyone, and we don't have to do anything. We are completely set free. We are completely free. So that is going to be possible in our life. It's going to be possible, very much it's going to be possible with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. It is definitely going to be possible. Bhagavad Gita knowledge will do that magic. All such miracles will happen in our life with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's why Krishna told that even if one commits the most abominable activities, he should be considered saintly if he is engaged in my devotional service without any deviation. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag sadureva samantavyak samyak vivasito visaga. That's what Krishna is saying. So if you are attached to Krishna without any deviation, if you are always rendering devotional service unto Krishna, so that means we are on the right path. We are going to be freed from this material veil, material bondage. Whatever we are doing every day, studying Bhagavad Gita, it's all Krishna's causeless mercy. He is arranging. Krishna is organizing this Bhagavad Gita class. That's why we are able to study. Because what we are doing is not an ordinary task, because we are able to do this continuously. Krishna's causeless mercy. And we are able to get this knowledge also fully, completely. We are able to understand everything what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita. All such things are possible. It is because Krishna is showering his mercy upon us. That's why we are able to understand this Bhagavad Gita. We are able to understand the relationship between mind, senses, intelligence, body, soul, and everything. And Krishna is teaching us very clearly that with both mind, with this mind, body, senses, intelligence, everything, we should act to purify ourselves. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriyairapi yoginaga karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. So kayena, manasa, buddhya, kevalayir indriyai, so everything with body, mind, senses, intelligence, with everything, we should act. Yoginaga karma kurvanti. The yogis will perform the actions, karma kurvanti, sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. So the end result is that we should be purified, or atma suddhi. That's what is needed for us. Atma suddhi. Sangam tyakva atma suddhi. If you do that, yuktaga karma palam tyakva shantirapnoti naistikam. Ayuktaga kamakarena pale sakto nivartati. So if we are able to do like that without any attachment, only attached to Krishna, so then we are going to get peace of mind. Otherwise, we are going to get ourselves bound to this material world. Pale sakte nibaddhade. When we are attached to the pala, the results, then we will be bound to this material world. That's what pale sakte nibaddhade. We should not be attached to pala, the results. We should be attached to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then we are free. Then moksha. No nibaddhade. It's only moksha. So that's what is going to happen. So, bhakti, devotion unto Krishna will bring us moksha, liberation from this material world. So, devotion brings liberation from this material world. So, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will make us a very, very strong devotee of Krishna. That's going to happen. Anyone who studies and understands this Bhagavad Gita for sure will become a very, very strong devotee of Krishna. There is absolutely no doubt. People who talk for hours and give lectures for hours, teaching Bhagavad Gita, all such things without even mentioning Krishna once, they will never become a devotee of Krishna, because they don't even know Bhagavad Gita. They just talk as if they know, but really speaking, they don't know anything about Bhagavad Gita. So without praising our Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, without glorifying Him, without accepting, understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, we are not going to get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Even Krishna told Arjuna that you are my friend, you are my devotee. That's why I'm giving you this most confidential knowledge. So, anyone should be a friend and devotee of Krishna to get this knowledge. So this knowledge one cannot get it just by applying to some college, some institutions, IIMs or management institution, and then there is some Bhagavad Gita, something. They are not going to get Bhagavad Gita knowledge as it is. Krishna is saying that very clearly. You are my friend and you are my devotee. So that's why I'm giving this knowledge. So others cannot anyway take this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and use it in their material life. It is not going to work. That's not going to happen. Krishna is asking to give up all attachments to everything in this material world. Then only we can free ourselves from this material veil. We should free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. That is possible only by surrendering ourselves unto Krishna. That is possible only by rendering devotional service unto Krishna. Mamchayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So that should happen. Anyone who is teaching Bhagavad Gita, there should be a devotee of Krishna and rendering devotional service unto Krishna. Otherwise, simply talking about Dvaita, Advaita, Advaita, this Vaida, that Vaida, and all is not going to work. It's only one thing, Bhagavad Gita. That's it. There is no Advaita or Dvaita. There is only Gita, Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. Lord Shri Krishna is teaching us very clearly in this 700 verses. Whatever Krishna is teaching, that's what we need. We really don't need anything else. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 7 slokas in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We are understanding Krishna is teaching us very clearly, very nicely that we should use our mind to control the senses. So simply by forcefully controlling our senses and focusing our mind on the sense objects is not going to work. So that means we should focus our mind on Krishna. That's the main thing. So we should focus our mind on Krishna and work. So that's what is very important. Ya aste manasa smaran Krishna, not indriyata, not sense objects. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, now if in the sloka number 6, Krishna is teaching that. In the sloka number 6 in the 3rd chapter, Krishna is teaching them. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyartan vimudatma midyacharaga sauchyate. So while controlling the senses, karmendriyani samyamya, ya aste manasasmaran indriyatan. But if we think about sense objects with our mind, then we are a fool and we are a pretender. That's what Krishna is saying. One who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense objects certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So that way, karmendriyani samyamye ya aste manasasmaran Krishna amudatma acharaga sauchyate. So if we remember Krishna, then we are not a vimudatma, we are amudatma. We are not a fool and we are doing everything in the right way. So buddhiman, we can say buddhiman. So the next sloka Krishna is teaching us what we studied yesterday. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabate juna karmendriyai karmayogam asaktaha savishishyate. So instead of focusing our mind on the sense objects, with that mind, we should regulate our senses. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabate arjuna, and perform karma yoga using the karmendriyas. So by controlling our senses and perform karma yoga means without any attachment to the results. That's what asaktaga savishishyade. That's what is by far better. That's what Krishna is saying. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga without attachment, he is by far superior. Now, in the next sloka, Krishna is continuing, the sloka number 8 in the 3rd chapter. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmachyayo hiya karmanaha sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhe akarmanaha. So perform your prescribed duties. That's what niyatam. Niyatam means prescribed. Kuru means perform. So do. Kuru. Karma. Tvam. Tvam you. You perform your prescribed duties. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. Karmajayohi akarmanaka. So, performing your prescribed duties is better than not acting. That's what karma jayogi akarma. Sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhet akarmanaka. After getting this human body, sarira yatra pichate. So, we cannot get anything good for ourselves without acting. Na prasiddhet akarma. So we have to act because we have this body. At least to maintain our body, we should act. That's very important. All our organs in the body, they will work very well only when we act. Only when we run, when we do exercise, when we give some work to our body. So that means all our karmendriyas. Exercise means our hands and legs and everything. They're all karmendriyas. So then only everything will work very well. So that's what Krishna is teaching us, that we have to act. In the 18th chapter also, Krishna is teaching them, Nahi deha vritta sakyam tyaktum karmani asye sataga yastu karma palatyagi satyagi ti abhidiyate. So, it is not possible to give up our activities completely, having got this material body. Deha vritta. Nahi deha vritta sakyam, na sakyam. It is not possible to give up. Nahi degabrita sakyam tyaktum karmani asesataga. To give up all our activities completely, that is not possible. But we can give up all our attachments completely. We can become a perfect tyagi. Yastu karma pala tyagi satyagi iti abhitayade. So that means we can get ourselves completely attached to Krishna, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So that way we can give up all the attachments to the results. So by Krishna's causeless mercy here, perform your prescribed duty. For doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. That's what Krishna is doing. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 8th sloka in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna. Yes, give me 1 minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gauravakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. If any devotee has any questions, please use the raise hand option. Hare Krishna. Hema Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hila Mataji, Hare Krishna. Chitrita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I have no questions. I'm still trying to understand that how to distinguish between our duty and our kind of attachment, because the duty seems to be making us more attached to this world. So this is like not to get attached into the work. This is a very challenging thing for me, Guruji. But I'm sure with
Yes, Mataji.
You were saying, Guruji, yes?
If you are able to think that we are doing it for Krishna, so then we are not attached to Krishna.
Yes, Guruji.
So whatever we do, we should be able to think that we are doing it for Krishna.
Yes, Guruji.
Not for ourselves, not for anyone else, it's only for Krishna.
Yes, Guruji.
Because everything is owned by Krishna. All these companies, industries, this, that, all governments, everything is owned by Krishna. He is the only enjoyer. He is the Purusha. He is the Yajna Purusha, correct?
Yes.
He is the Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So Krishna is the Ahamgi Sarva Yajnanam Bhokta Cha Prabhurevacha. So Ahamgi Sarva Yajnanam Bhokta Cha Prabhurevacha. So he is the enjoyer of everything. So everything is owned by Krishna. Everything. We think that each and every company, when they like a quarterly report, this report and all, they think that they want it. Or people who own the shares, they think that they want it. Everything is actually owned by Krishna. So that way we should think that we are working for Krishna.
Yes, Guruji. Correct, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Mithun Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. How are you?
By Krishna's mercy, I'm okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Guruji, for the wonderful class. Like Arjuna, we are receiving Krishna's guidance through you. So we are fortunate. It's like enlightening. You know, when you put a torchlight in dark, you will see the actual result. Yes, Guruji. It's amazing.
Yes, Prabhu. It's Krishna's causeless mercy only, Prabhu. We are able to do that. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Guruji.
Shashireka Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mithun Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class. I don't know what we would do without this class. Very nice you said, Guruji, about deadline. dying every day. That was very nice. So true that we have so many deadlines when we are working, or our own personal deadlines, all kinds of deadlines we have, and we forget that we are all dying all the time to meet those deadlines. So nicely said, Guruji. So nicely said. So nicely explained.
Yes.
Lovely, Guruji. Yes. So it's very clear, Guruji, that working without attachment, and you have to work, whether you like it or you don't like it. So the best is, why not work for Krishna? Why unnecessarily? Work without attachment, work for Krishna, surrender yourself to Krishna. Very simple, actually, if you look at what Bhagavad Gita expects you to do or asks you to do, it's not complicated. It is just that we have to put it into practice. And once we, it's my own personal experience, Guruji, once we start on that path, then it is not, Krishna himself will hold our little finger and take us forward.
Yes, and it's very enjoyable path. We will
Yes.
enjoy it. Devotees are, in fact, really speaking, devotees only are enjoying. Materialistic people may think that devotees are sacrificing and they are not enjoying, but the reality is that only the devotees who give up the material attachments, only they can enjoy. Others cannot enjoy.
Exactly. And the bliss and the calm and the peace on this path is very different, Guruji. It is a
real bliss. It's a true bliss.
It is incomparable. You cannot compare it to any material satisfaction. Anything, you cannot compare it. It is such a. I feel very blessed, Guruji, to be on this path. Thank you so much for always showing us the right path, reiterating this Bhagavad Gita message, and keeping us on track. Extremely indebted and grateful to you for this knowledge and for this and this everyday dose that makes sure that we are not forgetting it. Thank you so much, Guruji. Extremely indebted. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Deepesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Like Shashi Rekha Mataji said that, I really like that deadline portion. Very interesting. One thing I had a question, and I think Shashi Rekha Mataji touched upon this, is duty, prescribed duty, which is what he talked about. There is prescribed duty and there is responsibility. And I know you did talk about this some time back, but the differences between prescribed duty and responsibility, both are important, right? So
both are same. They are not different.
So, my responsibility to my kids is to bring them up to be in Krishna consciousness, but my duty to keep myself active and maintain my physical body and doing something is slightly different, right? So
they are not really different, because only if you are able to do everything, then only you can do all the good things to your kids also, correct? Everything for Krishna. See, ultimately we need to think that whatever we do, we are doing it for Krishna. That is the main thing.
So responsibility, so in a way, responsibility as a word does not exist in the Bhagavad Gita.
It is actually, we are all forced to act. That is the main thing. That is the main thing. Everything is by force. Everything is forced upon us. That's it.
Okay.
So nothing, even taking care of the children, all such things everything is there. So we just have to do everything without any attachment to the result. That is the main thing. That's what we need.
Okay.
So whatever we do, we should not be affected by the results.
So anything which we are responsible for is also actually a prescribed duty. Is that right? I mean, we are responsible to our parents.
So if our ultimate goal is only to please Krishna,
okay.
So that should be our primary. That's what many times I have mentioned in our lectures in the past also.
Yes,
we should consider our primary duty is to spread this message. That's what is our primary duty, actually. Primary task is that one only. In order to do that, we have to do all the other things.
Okay, Guruji.
For example, I literally thought when I started my PhD in IIT Madras, so I'm going to do it for Krishna, doing this for Krishna because I can use it for Krishna like that. But there is definitely helping now. All that knowledge and everything is helping. Even material knowledge also is very important to even give this Bhagavad Gita lectures, correct? So that way, so whatever we have, we are good at it. Whatever skills we have, use it in Krishna's service. That is the main thing. And that service is spreading Krishna's message. That should be our only goal. That should be our only primary task. That's it. All other things will be, in order to do this, we have to do other things. That's the main thing.
Okay, Guruji. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that explanation. I think I'm getting it better, but as everybody said, it's a journey. We just have to keep taking one step at a time, and
Krishna is
someday,
with us, that's the main thing.
Yes, and he's with us. So thank you, Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you for the class.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Mani Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shema Parameshwar Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Today class, I am little immersed. I do not know, I could not able to express myself.
Yes,
so excellent classes. There are in-depth meaning for each and every word you spoke, Guruji.
Yes,
it is going on in my mind. When I was doing Maha Mantra along with you,
yes,
I do not know, something happened bodily. I felt in a different way.
Yes.
So without realizing Krishna, without loving Krishna, without accepting Krishna as a friend, you can't get anything. So he was laughing at me that you can't get even 1% until unless you understand me through your mind.
We cannot even move our little finger without Krishna approving it.
Yeah, he's just laughing at me that whatever you told, million of things gone inside, but the result was zero. Why? Because those kind of attachment with Krishna was missing. I do not know what happened to other Prabhus or Mataji. So you can't realize it until unless you realize Krishna by senses. So it is true, Guruji. And also, I do not know, today you spoke little seriously about Advaita, Dvaita. All these things are immaterial until unless you know Bhagavad Gita in a fullest sense.
Exactly.
I wanted to know from you, I think you also gone through many books, many kind of reading, because everybody will do, the 30, 40, 50 years, there are many information which comes in directly or indirectly. So finally you told Bhagavad Gita is the final thing. Don't confuse yourself with other things.
One thing I want to mention at this time, really speaking, like after I studied this Bhagavad Gita in 30 years ago, exactly 30 years ago, in 1992, I studied in IIT Bombay. So then I decided at that time, maybe when I was doing PhD in IIT Madras afterwards, during that time, first I will finish Bhagavad Gita and then we'll study anything else actually. So this is the only book I started. I got the opportunity to study. And even today, I have not finished Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. So we cannot, then I realized we cannot finish Bhagavad Gita. So so much of knowledge, so much of enjoyment. So only if I get an opportunity in future, more time to teach, then I will focus on Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the main thing. So, but otherwise, Bhagavad Gita and of course, Brahma Samhita, that is only 64 verses, so that I have given lectures on it. So, since you said that I have gone through many books, that is not true. It's only Bhagavad Gita. Yes, that's what I meant.
So, you fortunate to have the yearly experience, Guruji.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, from the childhood, our life went in a different way. What your parents takes you, that is what you learn, slowly. So, it went through many experiences. See, in the childhood, we do not have that kind of, at that time, the ISKCON temple, Krishna temple, nowhere you find Krishna temple.
That's
You
true,
find
Prabhu.
only
That's very
Ganesha
much true.
temple.
That's why I went to, only in Bombay only, at that time in IIT only, I got the opportunity. It was not available to many people at that time. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So even the temple, all these things, through which you create your bhakti, so it was not available. So
Yes.
only when I was in Coimbatore, so
Yes.
near to my house, my colony, I suddenly, one of the bank employee who is my friend, he told, let us have a Krishna temple here. So
Yes, Sai
it is,
Baba colony, correct?
no, not Sai Baba colony. There Sai Baba is predominant. It is near Vadavalli. Vadavalli, that is Mardamalai Road, where the Murugan temple is there.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
Thiruvalluvar Nagar. Thiruvalluvar Nagar, a small portion colony is there, Tata Nagar colony. So the government employee, all those people there. I also lived there for 5-6 years after construction of house. So it so happened, everybody construct Shiva temple, Ganesha temple, Murugan temple, all these things. But suddenly when I went there in 2099 or 2000, suddenly we only 10 or 15 residents are there. So suddenly the secretary or president of that particular residency, he said, let us have a Krishna temple. I do not know, because he was connected with Chinmaya mission. The Chinmaya school was nearby. So suddenly it so happened, and we all, contributed and collected some donation here, there, and all from officers there. So we 4 or 5 create a temple. Then somebody told me that it is not so easy. The temple means it is for the entire community has to come. They have to do service, all these things. You are only 5 or 6 people. How you are going to construct? Somehow it happened. I myself bought a Krishna Pradishta. I am one of the 4 or 5 members. I did the Pradishta of Krishna temple there. I do not know in Coimbatore how many Krishna temple. See.
Yes, Prabhu. ISKCON is there, Prabhu. Even before that also, I have visited many times.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in the 1995,
But normally what happens, in a community, people don't have a Krishna in their place. In the house, they will keep. They don't do it. Basically, Ganesha temple, Shiva temple, all the temples are very easy and the people come together. But Krishna temple, I do not know how it happened, how it destined, why we 4, 5 people came forward and do it. And through our hands, we done the Pradishta, then we did daily bhajans and all. Every Saturday, Sunday, we used to have, then Purohit and all we appointed there. So when I'm going through all these slokas in the last 1 month, I was just feeling there is a coincidence in between. That is what is happening. And Krishna is laughing at me that until unless you give me a true love and come towards friendly, you will not get anything. It's simple. That is what it came to my mind. I'm expressing with you. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
we will
Hare
do
Krishna.
much more in Bangalore, Prabhu. Bangalore, a lot of devotees. Of course, every city will do, but in Bangalore already very nice team of devotees are there. We'll plan. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama.
Thank you,
Hare Rama.
Guruji. It's a wonderful
Thank you.
experience. My one request is yesterday class and today class, we can see it, we can listen it in YouTube, but when it comes through you, it has a different feeling. So my request is today class and yesterday class can be repeated again. This is my personal request.
Yes, Prabhu. We will do it, Prabhu. Every day, this slokas again I am teaching. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, there is a scientific connection. The chemistry is happening.
Yes,
I felt it today.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Guruji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kuldeep, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Mahendra Shukla, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Wonderful class, Guruji. No
Hare
question.
Krishna.
Thank
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Vishnuvardhana Rao, Prabhu. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Guruji.
Vishnu. Hare
Thank
Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you for the class, Guruji. I missed the beginning part. I will listen to it on YouTube.
Yes.
And slowly, as the devotees speak itself, as they attend more and more classes, we can make out the difference in them, right? In what they say, like Mani Prabhu, how he is talking now, and
Yes.
how he has felt the touch of God, the touch of
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Okay, so very nice, Prabhu, very nice, Guruji, very, very nice to listen to your class. And thank you very much, Guruji, for keeping us all in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you,
We will all
Mataji.
meet,
Hare-
as Mani Prabhu is also here, we will all meet sometime.
Yes,
And
yes,
Mataji, I
Mataji.
saw had joined the class today, but I think afterwards she had left it.
Yeah. She joined. I saw
Yeah.
Mataji. Yeah.
So we will all join together and do something, as you said, Guruji.
Yes,
Hare
we'll
Krishna.
plan to see, like earlier we planned, attempted, and we got meetings, and that's how now Mani Prabhu has come and joined our team. Correct. So like that we need to now
Yes.
do more, and there will be more devotees will be joined. Yes.
Yes,
Hare
Guruji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Vishnuvardhana Rao Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Guruji, Namaste Guruji.
Namaste Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Kuldeep Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to know, we are reciting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and Shiva, even I know, how you will sequence them.
Whom Prabhu? Those who are devotees of Shiva?
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.
Yes.
If I add Hare Shiva also, how does it go? What is the sequence?
See, actually, Prabhu, this is coming from Parampara. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is coming in the Parampara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this mantra and we are using this mantra. And Shiva is also Krishna only. We already understand that very well. From Brahma Samhita, we understand. From Bhagavad Gita, we understand. So like that, Krishna himself has got many avatars, many names Krishna can. But for us, it is not necessary to, or it is not possible to chant all the names. So we just have to follow what is coming in the parampara. That's what is very important. We don't want to deviate. That's very important. Because this parampara, evam parampara praptam imam rajarishya vidu. That's what Krishna is teaching. So similarly, this Bhagavad Gita can be understood only through parampara. Otherwise, we will not get the knowledge as it is. So that way, for us, of course, we know that Krishna only Shiva. Shiva and Krishna both are same only. They are not different. We already know that very well. Even from Brahma Samhita also we understand. Like if Krishna is milk, Shiva is curd. So like milk is turned into curd. So like that, Krishna becomes Shiva to do some specific work. So that way, for us, when we study this Bhagavad Gita, when we follow the parampara, so chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the best thing. We don't want to change it or we don't want to do anything differently. So you understand that, bro?
Even I don't want to do anything differently. This was just for my understanding. And my basic point there was, can we sequence it? Can we put a number to it, or it is the same? And anybody can start from anywhere among the three.
No, that's what Prabhu, that's what I'm saying. When our gurus teach, we just follow what our gurus are teaching.
Right.
We don't want to change.
I got your answer, sir. I got your answer, sir. Now I can work out things out. You helped me there. You helped me there. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Brinda Jai Singh Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very nice learning on a daily basis. So, Guruji, what I take back is that we really have to determine and, continue with our progress wherever we are, however we are. Every day is a new beginning for us with your guidance. Thank you so much for guiding us on a daily basis, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Palaniyappan Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama.
Rama, Hare
Hare. Thank you for your wonderful lecture today as well as yesterday, as many people told. What I felt today, that always when we chant, when you are chanting, we also follow the same. But what I used to do is, when you are chanting, I remember different rupas of Krishna in my mind, so that the mind is always kept, always attention is kept towards Krishna. I think our olden people, as you rightly said, even some our Prabhus previously asked, why not add Shiva? So every God is given a shape and worshipped. That way, Krishna also, we know, he has been given one type of every God. That way, every God, and we have to. It is easy for human being to remember and pray. That is my feeling. That is why our olden people has given shapes to God, even though all gods are not visible. They are all not visible at all. We don't know what they are. As olden people has given some shape and we are following that. That way, I feel we have to remember, easily we can remember Krishna by that method. That is why I think they have followed that, my feeling. So, that is one thing. And every time chanting means I remember all different type of Krishna and Radha and Krishna. You are sending every time different color pictures of Krishna in WhatsApp. So we can easily remember those things. Even many poems are made using that also, that pictures also. That way we can easily remember Krishna. That is the one thing which I want to. Even Mani Prabhu has asked how to remember him. I think that is the easiest method. That is why they have followed that. That is my feeling. And second thing is regarding our forgetting everything and how to follow. And we have to go to our childhood only, our own childhood, and 3 years, 5 years, we don't have any difference. We fight and join again. So that is the type of mind we have to set up. Even any age. That is the thing we have to try ourselves. As per Krishna also, I think that is the correct thing. We have to follow that. Then only we can forget the things. Otherwise, the bad things we cannot forget at all. Our mind is. That is the feeling I got when listening to your lectures and different every day when we are listening to your lecture. That is my feeling and what I follow. That is the basic thing which I wanted to just put in the form. Thank you, Guruji. Every day we are enjoying. We are enjoying really. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Chandrakanta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Guruji,
Krishna.
following Krishna, the doing karma without any expectation, it looks simple, Guruji. But still a conditioned mind decondition ourselves. It takes a slow process, Guruji. Whenever we attend, whenever I attend your class, oh yes, this much I can do. It's not that difficult, I feel. When it really 24 hours, when I observe myself, then it is somewhere and all I'll be sleeping. But compared to earlier, this thing, the sleeping part is reducing. That's what I'm feeling, Guruji. But to get to that Sthita Prajna stage, or completely surrender to him, always thinking of him, it requires his mercy and lot of tapas, Guruji. Lot of tapas. That's what I'm feeling, Guruji. But he is so merciful. He's so merciful. He'll give showering. Krishna is showering his love to us. But how we have to shower our love to him, that is the thing. He is showing the way, but at the same time, bandhana also he has put on us. Bandhana also he has put on us. How to come out of that bandhana is a challenge for us, Guruji. But slowly we are doing, like everybody is telling, like Mani Prabhu told, that he has done something, Pratishtapana of Krishna, and then he has come here. That's all how he links, Krishna links, Guruji. Like Prabhupada ji once told, even if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with all the offense also, your karma will get reduced. Your bandhanas will get reduced. Like that, I remembered when Mani Prabhu was telling. Even though it's unknowingly, without any this thing, when he did for Krishna Seva in Coimbatore, how the Krishna slowly linked. Like that, it will happen in everyone's life, Guruji. It's happening. It's all because of every day we are attending Bhagavad Gita class. That is the key, Guruji. Every day it is a reminder. It's a reminder for us where I am and where I should lead myself. Everything is happening because of the Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you very much. Without Bhagavad Gita class, we do not know where we are. Because only 1 or 2 slokas you are teaching and focusing on that only. That's really helping, Guruji. That's really helping. Thanks a lot, Guruji. Krishna has sent you for us to follow his path. Thank you very much. Thanks for Krishna. Thank you also, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ravin Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Guruji, wonderful class, Guruji. So touched by the words by Chandrakanta Mataji and Shashi Rekha Mataji, that what we would do if your class was not there. We would have been completely lost and doing something mundane in the material world. So really, so thankful, Guruji, to keep us in Krishna consciousness every day. And definitely we are progressing inch by inch towards Krishna and towards perfection. But it's a long journey. It's a multiple lifetime journey. So we get the sense of that. And yes, definitely we are improving, and we are enjoying while we are performing Krishna consciousness, Guruji. So that is great, Guruji. So thanks for all your effort, Guruji. In spite of all the odds, you are coming up and giving us this lecture. We are really indebted, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sunil Shivas Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Kadiravan Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Gayatri Mataji, Gayatri Shivakumar Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all the devotees. And today's class is very wonderful class, Guruji. We are relieving from material world and go to Golaga. We will try to understand the Bhagavad Gita knowledge daily base. From you, it is the God gift. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ram Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Guruji. There's something good said and no such excellent class, Guruji. Today, and the very key point is to me, Guruji. Lord Krishna clearly says one should continue
From your voice is not very audible.
Guruji, are you able to hear me, Guruji?
Now a little bit better. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My phone is under charge, Guruji, so it's far away. I can close
Now it's good. Now it's good.
better. Yeah. Do you hear any wind sound, Guruji? I'm staying close to the sea. Sea breeze is strong. Is it
Yes,
okay?
yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
But I'm able to hear you now. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Guruji. Winds are so strong, Guruji. After Amavasya, usually the tides are high here. So let me close my window also, Guruji. So all good, Guruji. Thank you very much. Excellent class. The sloga today actually fit for me, Guruji. That is the mistake I was about to commit. And now my wife and boy hearing this, they would be happy that I will continue my duty. So I was always debating and contemplating, Guruji, to just retire myself in Sri Lanka, stop doing all the work. And now Lord Krishna clearly says there are prescribed duties which I need to do that, Guruji. That also reflects the architect of Singapore called Sri Lee Kuan Yew, who's a founder of who's a modern architect of Singapore. He used to say the day of retirement is the day you are going into coffin. He used to say like that. So we have to work in all possible means. All this basis all comes out of Bhagavad Gita, Guruji. And this should be propagated in a good manner also, Guruji. Like what you are doing, we should put it on a repeative note. In YouTube, there is an option, Guruji. After listening your thing, we can select an option so it keeps on repeating, like how we recite mantras and other things, Guruji. So your class must be going on in the background. So you finish and start, finish and start. That way, that is one way we can imbibe this essence, Guruji, which goes into our flesh and bones, Guruji. It's going to happen. And another aspect also, Guruji, the Bangalore team, they are quite creative, and they can do that. They can also make it as a small verses per day, Guruji, like what you're saying. That also very appealing, Guruji, because you've been doing that leaflets distribution and all. That way, your messages can be interpreted in such a way, appealing to all, and like a haiku poems, Guruji. You know, those days we have a traditional poems. Even Bhagavad Gita itself is a song poem. Not many can understand. They need a guru. Then it has become a traditional poem. Nowadays, Japanese, there's something called a haiku, small. So the small verses, Guruji. In that concise form, if it reaches, and that will be good also, Guruji. Hopefully, Krishna will find a way for us to make that happen, Guruji. Thank you very much, Guruji. Hare Krishna to all. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Manoranjan Sahu Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Very
Hare
wonderful
Krishna.
session. So really, last 2 days, yesterday and 2 days, the Mani Prabhu has rightly told that it should be repeated. Really, I am also very much interested to agree with Prabhu, Mani Prabhu, and really, all slokas daily you are really injecting us, but really it's a very, all the devotees are also very much getting more and more involved with the classes. And really, I'm very proud as you are telling your experiences, really, and we are very passionate. And when you display the screen on the screen, because we have know that you have from childhood or student career, we have already memorized, but we have know that just newly started, so immediately you forget. So kindly, if you have 1 or 2 minutes at least, immediately when you read
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You got muted, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, sorry, sir. So really, we are very grateful, indebted to you, Guruji, and we have to do great things that we are in this class. We imbibe in our mind this highest form of knowledge, the transcendent knowledge. Daily, you are powering or souring the ambrosia, the nectar. This is a very great boon for us. So, really, unless until you realize this kind of a feeling as Manipur.
Okay. I think your voice is breaking. Hare Krishna. I'm not able to hear you, Prabhu, now. Sunil Shivas, Prabhu.
So network problem, I think.
Yes,
So very. So as you, I'm very much indebted to Guruji, and really, it is a wonderful session. Really, by telling that this is not enough, until unless Manipur was rightly told, realize that we have no Christian temple in our area, Coimbatore, and installed, and that kind of dedication, devotion is required. At single-handedly or 2 or 3 persons, they try to construct. So through years and very difficulties, yes, first. So actually, that is another. But from what you have already experienced, practiced, despite all your PhD work and studies, you don't leave the site. At the same time, you concentrate on Bhagavad Gita. That's a great experience for you. And we have really realized, you have already realized what is important. So that is a great thing. As a student, now students are misled and the students are not in a position to understand us. And really, it is a time for us, all the students, colleges, schools, that should be compulsory. How it can be possible, we have to get together, and particularly when we are connected with our families, we have to involve our children and all my neighbors and our areas, people, community people, we should be involved in the Gita class. And even Prabhupada has rendered extensive great service for us to get benefited. We can become a divine being. So through Gita, and really
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhu. I think you have some network problems.
Really, and we should and try to render our great service for the spread of Gita, and really this what is this thing is important and very much by telling this is not enough. Every moment in this world, these negative Gita knowledge, it can be possible.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let us listen to Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.